Hi everyone, I'm MaryAnn. I have been an artist for the last 10 years, and in this video I'm going to talk about why it's so important to just start. So we know intellectually that the only way to get good at something is to just do it, is to just practice. And there's this saying, practice makes perfect. But I think that actually puts a lot of pressure on a person because we all have our own ideas of perfection. And when we hear practice makes perfect, it sounds like there's an expectation that when we do something enough times, we're supposed to get it right or get it perfect. But the reality is that we can never be perfect. We are human. We're going to make mistakes. There are going to be flaws in anything that we do, even if it's something that we're really good at, which might actually discourage you into thinking that, if I'm not going to get it perfect anyway, and if I'm going to be making mistakes, then why even bother? Why even try so hard? Why even practice? Why even hone our skills? Well, honestly, I can't tell you why this is something that you want to do and why you should do. I mean, if it's something that really matters to you and something that you enjoy and something that you love, something that you are passionate about, then there really is no other justifiable reason as to why you want to get good at it other than you just want to. And it's totally okay too if you want to engage in an activity where it's purely just for the enjoyment of it and you don't care whether you are going to be really good at it or not. In fact, that is the whole point of what I am sharing in this video. It's that don't wait until you are good before you get started. A lot of times we think that, I have to be good before I can actually do the thing that I want to do. Like when we want to learn a new skill set, a very common thing nowadays is we would go and research all kinds of things about it. We would read up about it. We would try to find an online course or take a class or something. We tell ourselves that, we're just beginners, we're still in the learning stage. And so we would research, we would read, we would watch videos, but we don't actually take the direct actions into doing whatever that thing is. A lot of times, in order to get good at something, including art, you have to just show up and do the work. You have to show up and try. You have to experiment. You have to be okay with failing. And that is the really scary part, being okay with failing. So intellectually, we all know that in order to get good at something, we have to be okay with starting out being bad at it. And we know that we're bad at it because we're beginners. But why is it that even though intellectually we know that we are going to be bad at it, we are still so put off by this whole process that we know we need to go through? And a lot of it comes back to our own understanding of what it means to be good, what it means to be bad. And that understanding oftentimes is not objective at all. So intellectually, we know, yes, in order for me to get good at a skill set that I want to learn, in order for me to get good at art, I have to practice, I have to make more art, and I have to be okay with making bad art and making mistakes in order to get good at the thing that I want to get good at. For me personally, when I was starting out as an artist 12 years ago, one of the beliefs that I had was that if I was meant to be an artist, then I would be naturally good at it. Which intellectually I knew didn't make any sense, but emotionally, somehow psychologically, there was this perception and this belief that if you were meant to be something, then you would naturally be good at that thing. That if I'm meant to be an artist, then art would come naturally to me. Then, it would be easy for me to pick up different artistic skill sets and to be well-versed in different media. It will be easy for me to express the ideas that I want to in an artwork. The reality of it, though, is that when I actually started making art, I realized that 90% of the time, the art that I make is not that great, but it's like I have to make 90% of so-called bad art before I could get to that 10% of what I would consider is good art. And that's the thing also, good and bad is totally subjective as well. And it's subjective because, again, it's our own perception of what that means rather than an objective one. If we talk about a good drawing or a good work of art in terms of an objective standard, then we're looking at the principles of what makes a drawing technically good, like where's the light coming from, where's the shadow, how loose and free the strokes are versus how controlled they are. These are very technical things which can also still be quite subjective sometimes. But essentially what I'm saying is that if you want to be good at making art, Whether it's technically good or not is besides the point. It's really also coming back to defining what that is for you. And the thing is, you also won't know what that definition is until you really get started and do it and make some art and figure out as you go along. So we also sometimes blow things out of proportion, that instead of looking objectively at the thing that we are so-called bad at and learning how to improve from there, we just conclude that we are not good enough, and so we don't even try, and we don't want to feel that way. So that's another reason why we won't start. Another reason why it was difficult for me to get started was because I had a lot of fear that if I was not good at something, that if I made mistakes at something, then people would laugh at me, they would ridicule me, they would tell me that to just give up and do something else. And because I did not want to go through that experience of being rejected by other people and put down by other people, so I would hold myself back from even trying. But I think a lot of my experience in the last 11 years of being an artist, I mean, having learned over time to be okay with showing my works in progress, which are not at all good yet. One thing I've learned is that most of the time people are really encouraging, people are really supportive, because we're all in the same boat. We're all going through that process of learning how to do the thing that we want to be known for, the thing that we want to be good at, or the thing that is our dream, and to live that dream of ours. And we know what it's like to go through it. It's not easy. It's like one of the most difficult things you can do, going after something really matters to you. Most of the time people are really encouraging, and once in a while you're going to get some naysayer who would basically dump all their own shit on you because they don't believe that they can do it. They have their own issues about being not good enough, and maybe to some extent they have given up or become a bit cynical when it comes to pursuing their dreams. So when they see someone else doing it and that person is struggling, automatically they project themselves onto that person, and they would tell you that, oh, you know, you should just stop doing it, not good enough. Most of the time when people discourage us and put us down, they're just giving a voice to what we're already telling ourselves. And yes, we are going to get affected by it. It's a difficult thing, but we just have to power through it. And again, you're not going to get good at powering through that until you have experienced that enough times for you to be able to realize it's not that big a deal, and to just pick yourself up and carry on. The point of this is to just encourage you to keep going, because you're never going to be perfect in whatever you're setting out to accomplish. If you're having difficulty starting, I just wanted to ask you this. Are you putting more importance on the things that are holding you back? Are you putting more importance on your reasons why you can't do it than actually taking action to do it? In other words, are your obstacles, whether internal or external, are they more important than your dream? Are they more important than your goal? And a lot of times when we stop ourselves from going after our dreams and our goals, we are unconsciously giving more importance to the thing that's stopping us. And that's why we are not able to choose to just go for that dream and to push past whatever that barrier is. This is something that I have been learning as well every single day. I mean, even though I've been an artist for 11 years now, it's still a struggle for me at times to really push myself past my own barriers, and it never quite goes away. Like it gets easier to manage over time. But then, when I have a setback in my career, it still bugs me. But I'm also learning that a lot of times it's just showing up and just repeatedly put yourself out there over and over again. And even if you don't get the response that you want, you just have to keep going. And yes, you get affected, but the last thing we want to do is to put more value on the things that are holding us back, on the things that are discouraging us, on the things that are stopping us, on the reasons why you can't do it. You don't want to put more importance on that than actually taking action to do whatever it is that you want to do to fulfill whatever it is that really matters to you. So I hope this video has encouraged you to keep going in your journey as an artist or whatever it is that your dream is. If you have any questions or if you want to share something, feel free to put them in the comments. Subscribe to my channel for more videos on how to create the best art career for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.